Education in times of pandemic. This interview is carried out with my partner and friend David Zambrano. David, we know that the world is going through a pandemic which has affected the world in various ways, including education. From your point of view, what impact has education had due to the pandemic?
Thank you, Alison. Well, from my point of view, the main impact resides by the education is in the methodology face-to-face classes, because due to the biosafety measures, the agglomeration of people is not possible. So the work has to be coupled to the virtual classes and distance education.
You just say that the world has had to engage in virtual education. Based on that, what do you think of the accessibility of today's education? Knowing that the internet is essential in taking into account possibilities, economic situation, if even with face-to-face education, there were sectors in the world for which education was not accessible.
If we have something for sure, is that education can never be stopped. Although, undoubtedly, it's more difficult access it now. But I've seen a good predisposition by part of students and teachers, especially teachers. In fact, there is a lot of teachers and professors that they don't know how to use the applications neatly to teach in our reality right now in the actual world, right? Not of all, there is a lot of them that even don't know how to use a cell phone. There is a great part that they even haven't a cell phone, so that's admirable for they are learning to teach us, and I respect a lot of that. And there is some governments around the world that they are trying to help this situation uh, for people that, especially students, that they haven't the resource for payment, for pay a computer, for pay a cell phone, because they before don't need a computer or cell phone for study, but right now is necessary. So there is government that are happy with that, and I think that's a very good action, and that's all.
To finish, David, speaking clearly effectiveness, what do you think about the results obtained by virtual and distance education compared to face-to-face education experience before the pandemic?
Speaking exclusively from my personal situation as a student, I consider virtual and distance class are not enough, almost for me. I consider the face-to-face classes had this humanity and familiarity development in classroom with professors, students who undoubtedly they motivate and help students to overcome sometimes difficult situations or any problem. So that things like that did classrooms better.
The pandemic has undoubtedly changed the world as we know it. It has brought new difficulties, challenge, and stopped many sectors worldwide. But education has known how to prevail and adapt to the necessary measures for human survival, but without stopping showing us how is essential and fundamental that it is, because education is fundamental for social happiness. Benito Juarez.